Hi guys, it's Byron here and welcome to Byron's Reviews. Today I am joined by Reese again.
Hello again.
And today we have something very exciting to discuss, which is the reveal of Nintendo's codename NX, which is now known to be the Nintendo Switch. So yeah, what did we think of it?
I thought it was pretty cool. The concept for the console, which by the way, if you've not seen, the link will be in the description for the trailer. It sort of works as sort of a tablet, which you can plug into your telly by an adapter, or you can just take it on the go and actually use it as a proper gaming tablet.
Yeah, there were lots of rumours beforehand of it being a hybrid between a home console and a handheld device, and now we know those to be true, which I think is fantastic because we don't know how powerful this system's going to be, but if it is around the same as the Xbox One or PS4, to have something like that on the go as well as at home would be absolutely fantastic, and I feel that this trailer showed all of that off really well. And Nintendo have always been innovative with the hardware, and this is them doing it in a way that I think will be really creative, but at the same time I don't think it'll scare third-party developers.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with the Wii U. I mean, as good as the Wii U gamepad was, and it allowed for many different game design opportunities, it sort of was tricky to design for, so many third-party people just did not go to it, which is one of the reasons why the Wii U didn't sell that well.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah, there were just lots of ways to use these control schemes, and I think that was the big thing this trailer tried to show. You could use I think they're called the Joy-Con left and the Joy-Con right, on the edge of the tablets to have an on-go experience, or you could even take these things off, prop the tablet thing up with a stand at the back, and kind of hold them without a middle bit, and have it as kind of the way you'd hold a Wii remote or nunchuck.
As well as that, you can just use it as a traditional controller in a controller that looks fairly similar to what the 2DS does. And as well as that, there's also a Pro controller, as there was with the Wii U.
Another interesting thing about the Joy-Con left and the Joy-Con right, the two detachable things from the tablet, is that by the looks of it on this trailer, you can actually have each of these two sides as their own controller, which I can see a lot of people complaining about because they may be a bit small and clumsy. But look at it this way, it's giving you a way to do multiplayer out of the box without having to buy another controller. And even if you don't like that, what's stopping you from buying another Pro controller if you want to, if you can afford it?
Yeah, I'm sort of have some reservations about that. I mean, it is nice to have the option, but because you have one side of the controller effectively, you only have one analog stick, and if a game requires two analog sticks, there may be some problems with that.
I suppose, but it's still opening more doors than would have been there if you didn't have that option, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that this feature shouldn't be there, because, you know, you should always experiment with your hardware, and that's what Nintendo have been fantastic at doing, but with someone with big hands, it does look kind of a bit uncomfortable to hold.
I suppose, but another thing that I really don't like about these two Joy-Cons being their own controllers, and it's the only downside I can personally see to it, is the fact that to make it like a set of 4 buttons on each of them, Nintendo is not having the standard D-pad they always have with the plus shape, and is similar to a PlayStation controller, having 4 separate buttons. And I see why they're doing it, so it can be used as 4 separate buttons, but if it's not broken, don't fix it. In my opinion, Nintendo have always had the best D-pads, and changing it just seems a bit iffy.
Well, I think that problem will be fixed because of a Pro controller, which will have that plus as far as I can tell.
Another thing I want to bring up before I forget is that as cool as all these things about it being a home console and a handheld are, how much is it gonna cost? Because let's be real, it can't be cheap.
It can't be cheap, especially with if they're going to make the console about as powerful as a PS4 in a tablet form. And that's going to really kill off the console if it's too expensive, because if you have a look at some of the more recent prices for the two big consoles, PS4 and Xbox One, they've been going down massively. They're like about £250 now.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if Nintendo can make it affordable, then having a home console and a handheld without having to get two devices, that is something that I think will attract a lot of people. And it may make it the go-to and may make it sell much more than the Wii U did.
Yeah, I think it could work because the idea of it is definitely a logical next conclusion from the Wii U gamepad. Because
That's another thing I like about it. It's a natural progression.
They've been transferred over from using a special disc format to a cartridge-based format like a 3DS.
Yeah, that's another interesting thing that they're using cartridges. And that'll have a lot of good things. It'll decrease load times. Cartridges can store a lot of memory nowadays, so it should be good. But there is a downside. While they may be able to still make it backwards compatible with the 3DS somehow, will they make it backwards compatible with the Wii U? Because if they are going to, I'm not sure how they'd go about doing that.
Yeah, because Nintendo have always had a good track record of being backwards compatible. The Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube, and the Wii U was backwards compatible with Wii games. But I don't see how they could make the Switch compatible with the Wii U unless they had like a disk drive, and then the cartridges would kind of become a bit redundant.
Yeah, and if it's not backwards compatible, I see why it's not, because I get the impression that with the Switch, Nintendo is trying to take their brand in a new direction and kind of in a way say goodbye to the Wii brand. But it still would be nice if they made it backwards compatible somehow. Another thing about Nintendo kind of changing their direction, it's no secret that they do have this persona of being a very almost kiddie company and very family oriented. But this one, there wasn't a single kid. They were all like young adults, which was kind of interesting because it's kind of saying, yeah, we're not just for kids, anyone can play our console.
Exactly, I think they're going to try and tap into more of the core gaming market, the young adults, which can be seen by the trailer. I mean, they have stuff like a lot of young adults doing lots of typical young adult things.
It seemed in this trailer that there was a really social element to this console. Like, everybody was going out playing these games with their friends, and that with other companies is not what you see often because it's all really online focused. But here, and I guess with other things Nintendo have been involved in recently, like Pokemon Go, they're really trying to keep that local multiplayer sort of social aspect of gaming alive. And now shall we talk about some of the games they showed off, because this is another thing where it gets very interesting.
It certainly does. In the website you can see a lot of different like partners. They have people like 2K, and in the trailer shows some NBA 2K17. And as well as that, they also have them sponsors. They have some partners with Bethesda, and shows that there's going to be might be some sort of Skyrim remake on it.
Yeah, like the Skyrim Remastered was shown on this trailer, and while it's not confirmed by Bethesda, and is it 2K?
Yeah, Take-Two haven't confirmed NBA either.
Yeah, while they're not confirmed, I do think there's a good chance they'll be on here. And if Nintendo can get that kind of third-party support as well as their standard Nintendo games, that'd be amazing. And speaking of these standard Nintendo games, yeah, we saw Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we saw a new 3D Mario game, which looked very intriguing. But as well as that, what else? The other things that we saw made me kind of concerned. We saw things like Splatoon and Mario Kart. Well, not to be Mario Kart 8, but with subtle differences, such as a new character, King Boo, as well as 2 items. And it seemed to me that these are going to be parts of the Wii U titles with some slight changes. And to that, I'm kind of thinking, why can't you be making new games instead of porting the old ones? Because I have Splatoon and Mario Kart 8. I want new games.
It seems kind of odd why they wouldn't focus on the new games that are there. I mean, I know the idea is that there's a lot of the third-party developers probably still are working on the games.
Obviously, we need to hear more. This is the big thing this trailer's brought about. what we've seen so far has, for the most part, been a very positive. But before we completely say this is amazing, we need to hear more about the price, and we need to hear if it really is going to have a solid lineup of launch titles. Because a solid lineup of launch titles is really necessary for its success, I think. And another thing that's necessary for its success is, well, for a start, I want to say that I've seen on Nintendo's website and stuff, they've explicitly said that this is a new home console.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, that implies that it's going to be over time replacing the Wii U. I think it should just equally replace the 3DS, because having both the 3DS as a big focus and this Nintendo Switch, I think could damage the Switch's sales, especially if the 3DS is cheaper.
It would do. I mean, the 3DS, it is fantastic and it does work quite well, but
I just don't think it can live while the Switch is there.
yeah, because if the Switch exists and it's just much more powerful, much more expensive than the 3DS, and people want it for a portable element, they'll just go, oh, why don't I just get myself a 3DS? But you have lots of Nintendo games on there.
Yeah, and it kind of defeats the purpose of having two consoles in one with the Switch.
Yeah, the continued support of the 3DS may actually be what hamstrings the success of the Nintendo Switch, because the 3DS, it is still a very popular console. It's
Yeah,
sold.
Nintendo's handhelds always sell like hotcakes, which is why the Switch could sell amazingly if the 3DS does fade out. I'm not saying anything against the 3DS, but you know.
Yes, this point is especially prevalent with the release of Pokemon Go. A bunch of Pokemon fans, well, new Pokemon fans in fact, want some sort of new experience, and Sun and Moon's coming out this year. Imagine the increased support for that. People buy a 3DS around by the release of Sun and Moon, and for their kids at Christmas who've just played Pokemon Go, then people may not be willing to go out and buy another console.
Yeah, because if the Switch was the only place where you can get the latest Pokemon game, so many people would buy it. And if it's on the 3DS also, not many people would, because they'd just get the 3DS version. Anyway, we're going on a tangent now. So yeah, thank you, Reese, for being in this video. Do you want to say anything about your channel, Games of Reference?
Yeah, I have a channel, obviously, Byron said, called Games of Reference. Hopefully you'll put a link in the description.
Nah, I will, yeah.
Yeah, you will, yeah. And basically, instead of these casual gaming discussions, I do very concise discussions about different topics in gaming.
Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.